Hello, my honeys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Healthy Emmie. This is Healthy Dad. This is Healthy Mummy. These are my parents. They are slim on starch, living the whole food plant-based lifestyle, and we haven't done an update in a minute. So we are going to do an update, see how they've been doing, and do a little Q&A as well. Woo! Hello. I'm coming at you from the ground because I am headed to Healthy Parents. I am going to film some Black Friday promo videos with my mom. She's gonna be my actress for today. And also I'm gonna be filming an update with Healthy Parents. We haven't done one of those in a while, so it is definitely something that we need to do to see how they're doing with their slim on starch lifestyle. So I'm going to bring my breakfast with me, and I'm gonna bring my lunch. I'm not sure. I do want to go shopping out by my parents' house, and I might bring my lunch with me too, just in case I go shopping. Might have lunch back at my parents' house. I don't know. We'll see. So what I'm bringing with me for breakfast is I have my everyday oatmeal. These are the stasher bags. I love these reusable bags. So I have a cup of quick oats. What I add into my oatmeal, peanut butter powder, a tablespoon of ground flaxseed. They have cinnamon at their place, so I'll just use their cinnamon. But then I have my zucchini and my almond butter that I add. Manna Foods sent me their almond butter. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And I'm almost done with it. And I messaged them and they're gonna send me an entire case of all of the different nut butters that they have. I love this company. They have so many fantastic no oil products. Let me show you actually. They sent me these too and I wanted to show them. Look at this, no oil, no added salt, no added oil. This is their granola that just has coconut chips, rolled oats, and dates. And then I haven't tried these yet, but these are their kale chips that also don't have any oil. It's just kale, water, cashews, nutritional yeast, pink Himalayan salt, and turmeric. So I'm excited to try those. I should do a taste test. I posted on my Instagram story and asked for some questions that when I go over to Healthy Parents, we can do a little Q&A at the end of our update. So thank you so much for submitting questions if you did. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, make sure you're over there so you don't miss out on this. Healthy Mummy is whipping up some fresh hummus from the Healthy Mummy cookbook for our wraps. So for wraps, Healthy Dad has made the sauteed mushrooms, onions, red onion, yellow onion, bean sprouts, and water chestnuts. The bean sprouts give it such an Asian feel, huh? This is brown rice. My favorite, the tofu, which is going to get ginger added to it. We have roasted red peppers, lettuce, Healthy Dad's pickles, also from the cookbook, and that's a wrap, literally. I wrapped mine in parchment paper so that it wouldn't all fall apart because I got a lot going on in here. And I've got some green grapes. And I have a tea. I need to get my tea. Yeah.
Did you have deep dish pizza?
I had a deep dish pizza. I had a hot dog.
There you go. You didn't have a bratwurst?
Had that.
At the Cubs game with a couple of, oh God, what will those be as they force down our throats?
If you want to be just as healthy as these guys, then you can check out the Slim program where you get custom meal plans, workout plans, daily meditations, journal topics, and more, all customized to your needs so that you can achieve and maintain your ideal weight on a plant-based lifestyle. Let's start out with what your primary foods have been. Primary foods are not the foods that are on your plate. They are the hobbies, activities, relationships, etc. that nourish your soul. Okay, so Mom, let's start with you.
In our town, we have a little vibrant downtown community and a new bookstore just moved in. So I went outside my comfort zone and went down to do a book club first time. The topic was historical fiction, and it was great. It was nice to go down there and support local business and have someone who owns a bookstore sort of provide some recommendations.
And that reminds me, people say, I want to have friends. I want to have a robust community. To have a friend, you have to be a friend. And in order to have connections and have this robust social life, you have to go and do things like this that are outside of your comfort zone. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
As you folks may remember, Max and Lindsay bought a house, and it's a house that needs some TLC. And so one of the recent projects we did was redoing a deck on the side of their house, and it becomes the mantra. I'm now make sure I am a doer of things. That's what I want to do. I want to do things, but the trick is doing that on top of the other things that I want to do, such as biking and golfing and swimming and exercising. A couple of them started to take a back seat, and I noticed I started to lose my edge a little bit. And I've been hard to find recently because I've been trying to fit all of those things in. But, again, back to the primary food of making a material difference at Max's house with some of these things that we've been able to do. Never mind the fact that a bear came through the backyard the other day.
Yeah.
I talk about this, how it's good to have a variety of primary foods that are more cerebral and then things that are more hands-on. And I think you have a really good balance with that. You do your reading, you do your crossword puzzles, but also you build a deck, you do golf, you ride your bike. So it's a nice balance. Go to secondary food, the food that goes into your mouth. What has been your favorite from the cookbooks or something outside of the Healthy Mummy and Healthy Dad cookbooks? Mom?
Emily introduced me to not seitan, what was tempeh, thank you, which I'm going to try and incorporate more because I didn't realize that it's actually tofu before soybeans become tofu.
Fermented soybeans.
Yes. So I'm really enjoying that. And I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's new. I'm such a creature of habit, and I'm doing so well with what I make and then what Healthy Dad makes that we just enjoy it. We love it.
Sometimes if you feel like you want to switch it up a little bit, or if you want to expand your palate, improve your gut health, you can look at the things that you already have and then switch one tiny thing. Like if you already incorporate beans, trying a new bean like black-eyed peas or Great Northern beans or butter beans or cannellini beans, doing something that's a little bit different. And that's what you did with the tempeh. You usually have tofu, but you're just switching out your legume for something else.
I'll tell you one quick thing. Before I went vegan, there was this specific soup, canned soup that I liked that I used to buy all the time. And there's been a can sitting in there for a while. So yesterday I opened it up and had it. And I'm like, ugh. It just tasted, because I'm so used to a healthy homemade soup every day. I'm like, oh, this is not even nearly as good as I thought it was.
As one of the kings of leftovers, it's funny. It's been hitting the spot recently, and it's kind of funny because when I make it, I'm like, oh, I got to have this again, and then I start eating it, and I go, oh, this is actually pretty good. But the funny, because it builds, because we have Thanksgiving without the turkey on Monday, pasta on Tuesday, leftovers, but that means more leftovers. Then when we have the veggie burgers and beans. Lisa likes to call my Friday lunch the dog's dinner, but I am telling you, I look so forward to Friday lunch. It's not even funny. It's baked beans and leftover air fried French fries, which typically is sweet potatoes and then either white potatoes or yellow potatoes. We mix them up and cook them all together. But yeah, that's what's been working, and I'm going to keep doing it.
That reminds me of sometimes clients will decide whether or not they like a new habit or routine or a meal before they even try it out. And you're kind of seeing that happen where it's, oh, I don't want to have these leftovers. And then you start eating them. You're like, oh, actually, I do like this. So to not decide how you're going to feel about something before it happens, because that's not the way emotions work. You do it, and then the emotions come and visit, and you can see whether or not you actually enjoy something. That's a good reminder of that. Next are wins. What wins do you want to share that you are proud of, that you have been embodying over these past few months?
Well, this winter I'm going to be 65 years old, and I went and had a stress test a week or so ago. A stress test is to put your heart under, activity stress. You get on a treadmill and you start walking, and then the incline increases and the pace increases. So you're basically almost running. You can run if you want towards the end. And then they cardiac monitor you like an EKG and see how you're doing. When I said to the woman, how long do people usually stay on the treadmill? And she said, about 3 minutes before they either start having symptoms or they can't do it anymore. I thought, 3 minutes? All right. So I stayed on for the duration, which I was pretty proud of. That's a big reminder for me that I'm in pretty good shape for the shape I'm in. I just painted the whole living room and lived to tell about it. So I'm so pleased that, as I get older, I'm not just becoming a blob on the couch that just complains of aches and pains all the time. And my weight is the same as it's been since I started this program.
This reminds me of Dr. Alan Goldhamer says, I don't want to live a good life, I want to live a good death. Or I don't want to have a good life, I want to have a good death. And for many people, their death is a 20-year stretched out, terrible period. And hopefully, as Dad wants it to be, one day you'll just drop dead and it won't be this dragged out thing. But that's a terrific win. Congratulations.
I think my win the other day, I was coming home from riding my bike and stopped to talk to one of my neighbors. And my neighbor said, geez, Tim, you're so skinny, you're so thin. And I'm thinking, I don't feel any different. So I come in and I weighed myself. I was 184. So 2 pounds over college weight. And, so kind of like I'm right where I should be. So I it's like she said, you're too skinny. I says, Tim, you're not fat, is what she probably should have said. But, it was a simple one. I says, if I just keep doing what I'm doing, then I don't know if it's just people expect you to get bigger as you get older. I don't know. It was kind of strange, but I felt like I won that one.
Yeah. It's and when you plug in, you're 6 feet tall. When you plug in the BMI, you're definitely not too thin. But it's the when people come from other countries to America, they say, "Oh my God, everybody's huge," because we are so big here, and people are just used to everyone being so big that when they see somebody that's a normal weight, they're quote unquote skinny. Yeah. The next question is about positive changes moving forward. What you want to focus on over these next few months, maybe going into these colder months, what's going to be important for you to keep your health in tip-top shape?
Well, by default, once the golf season ends, that frees up a lot of my time, and that, I need to make sure I get back into doing the exercising and the stretching, the other stuff that I do, because that's really something that has taken a hit recently with all the other things that have just been going on. So I'm looking forward to making sure I get back into that particular routine. On a good note, the college reopened its own swimming pool, and that pool it's like the Augusta National of swimming pools. This thing is beautiful, and it's white like this, and it's a high roof, and it's got windows so you can see out. It's not claustrophobic. It doesn't have that sauna feel attached, to what swimming pools oftentimes have, and it's just really, for me to back up my yunch an hour and a half, 3 days a week.
You must enjoy it.
Yeah. So that one, so just all those things. And then come spring, golf will come back, and, bike riding will come back. But I've been able to ride my bike right through this, so it's been good. But going forward, the college and the Y both have stationary bikes that I can ride. So I won't lose my edge there.
Any struggles that you have had health-wise that you would like guidance on? And it's okay if the answer is no.
Well, my brother had a heart attack at the ripe old age of 61. So that was a real eye-opener to me because it's a family history for us. So I'm really glad that Emily has gotten us, Tim and I, both on this path to take as good care of ourselves as we possibly can. And so far, so good.
Struggles. You should try being married to her. No.
Cut that out.
I know it. No, it's been interesting with this time change. This is really, I'm waking up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm normally up around 5, 4:45, and we have our 4-legged alarm clock who's hungry, which, I'm not averse to getting up, but now what I don't want to do is be eating breakfast at 4:45 in the morning, because at 8 o'clock in the morning I'm ready for lunch. But really, that's just been the trick, is this, some particular reason, this time change has really screwed me up. So,
Yeah, I felt it
we've
too.
tried to go to bed later, and that worked for a couple of days. So, I'll just stick with it, and hopefully, if I can stay in bed till 5:30 or so, then that's actually doing something.
The older we get, the more childlike we become.
All right, well, I asked for some questions. Would you be down to answer some? Sure. The first question is, why is your family so cute? Got them fooled.
Yeah.
The next question is, no question, but both your parents look amazing. The next question is, no question, but they look amazing. Here's a good one, and you can think about this for a minute. You inspire so many. Who has inspired you?
I got two friends. They're both in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
they're the most upbeat. Because it's funny, we talked about one of them last night that Ty was like, I don't know if I want to go see him. I says, Ty, he would cheer you up. Yeah. And these people, there's 10,000 other things that they can do other than walk, ride bikes, whatever. But their minds, their mindset, their universe of people is inspiring.
That was a great answer.
Yeah.
Can you top that, Mom?
Probably not, but I've really been so lucky to have so many inspirational people in my life, friends, family, and especially all these nurses and professional women that I've worked with all these years who really, opened my eyes to that we're all the same, but we're all different, and how important it is to realize that everybody has a story.
Great answers. Okay, next question. This one's a little bit lighter. So we talk about in the Slim program, we talk about your satisfaction factors. It's what makes a meal satisfying for you in terms of taste, texture, and temperature. So my clients have to decide if they like meals that are hot or warm or cold, if they like things that are crunchy or creamy or starchy, and if they like things that are salty or sweet. So for me, for example, I like things that are sweet, warm, and sort of dry, starchy. That's my satisfaction factor. So what is it for you, Mom? I know that you like to bite into something. You like gloppy. What is it?
Yeah, I do. But
That's such a word.
gloppy.
You keep using that word.
For me, it's important. I learned a lesson today because I wasn't prepared for lunch. I really didn't. I didn't have the ingredients. I need to go to the grocery store to make my lunches and how hungry I get. So I know that what I'm doing on a regular basis is really necessary. But for me, I have to have variety in the tastes and textures and warmth and cold that I have, which is why I so like, Dad's veggie burgers, because it's that biting into a burger, and warm soups.
And you, Dad?
Well, with me, I can think back before we went down this route, how awful we would feel after certain types of meals. I won't name anything specific, but having that block or a balloon in your stomach after eating certain things, or even now, like with salad dressing, if all of a sudden we decide to cheat, and all of a sudden it's like, look, all I taste is oil, so it's really more so how I feel versus what I'm eating, how I feel afterwards, that I feel full but not stuffed. And one of the tricks is interesting. When we had tofu salad the other night, it's like it's a salad, but you eat the salad and we're good. So it's having that ability to move after a meal and not feel ugh.
Another person said that you guys are aging backwards.
Benjamin Button.
So when eating in restaurants, which doesn't happen often, but it does happen sometimes, do you try to stay on plan? Do you let it go for that one meal? How do you approach that?
It really depends. I don't go in with a certain, I take that back. If I have the opportunity to look at the menu before I go and plan in advance, then I'm much better, because then I don't have to decide and this, that, and the other thing. I really don't usually have any problems. Ty and I went out the other night. We went to the Villa, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
And he got a pizza, and I got a beautiful arugula beet salad. It was absolutely fine. And of course, the waitress says, "Is that all you want? Do you want protein?" The usual questions.
Pasta.
Yeah, I just wasn't, we probably had it the night before or something. But I think as long as I can look at the menu ahead of time, there's always something that you can find. Yeah.
Dad, what do you do? I know you're at restaurants all the time.
Yeah, it's been. I think I went out to lunch in
You're out to lunch.
July, but yeah, I mean, now you can pretty much find anybody's menu, so yeah, you're able to prepare, and there might be a slight workaround, but again, one of my cheats is pizza. So if you go somewhere and there's a flatbread pizza and it's you just say light on the cheese or extra on the onions. But, it's funny. It doesn't happen all that often.
Yeah.
And our universe of people know where we are. And for the most part, there's only one person that still gives us a hard time.
We all know who that is.
So it's easier because it just doesn't happen.
And what matters most is what you do 95% of the time, and they go to restaurants 1% of the time. That's not an exaggerated figure. So 95% of the time, they're eating what's in the Healthy Mummy and Healthy Dad cookbooks. And so that's why how they stay on track.
100%.
Yeah.
Do you ever consume smoothies or juice?
I do have smoothies. I had quite a few this summer because it was so hot. And they were just really frozen fruit, bananas, and maybe a splash of orange juice. That was it. I made the other day a banana, soy milk, peanut butter, dates, one of those things with chia seeds. And I'm like, I eat this anyway throughout the day. I didn't really need the smoothie. But now that it's getting cold, I don't really feel the need for it. I'm not a big juice drinker, no.
If you are in weight maintenance, these are appropriate. If you're looking to lose weight, I don't recommend them. So for somebody in weight maintenance, they're fine. And Dad, I know that you have juice.
I drink orange juice in the morning. And then from time to time, I might buy apple juice or grape juice. Grape juice is like, grape juice. Yeah. Oh, man. And then even once in a while, pineapple juice. I mean, really, pineapple juice is like an unsung hero. Yeah. It's really something. But yeah, I have juice in the morning, and that's it, as a rule.
The last question I'll ask is, how many times do you eat per day?
I would say 4. Yeah, breakfast, and 4 will either be like a morning snack or an afternoon snack. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, either morning snack or an afternoon snack, rarely both. As well as the smoothies. When I came back from my walk, I would have a smoothie. Or my afternoon, sometimes I'll have hummus and, a rice cake, or maybe my potato poppers. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Dad?
4 times. Breakfast, and then like a mini breakfast, because again, I eat breakfast so darn early. And especially now with 3 days of swimming, lunch doesn't happen till 1:30. I'm not going to go from 5:15, 5:30 till 1:30 in the afternoon with all the other things that I do. And I just know that if after I play golf, I'm going to ride my bike and go swimming, and not eat during, all that time, it isn't going to happen. But we're pretty regimented as far as eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dinner, as you well know, dinner's at 6:00, and thank God for clocks, because I wouldn't know what to do without them.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's been a while.
Yeah. If you like this video, then you're going to love the next one that pops up on the screen. You can have a whole marathon of the Healthy Mummy and Healthy Dad updates.
God bless you.
And then have a lobotomy after. I love you, honeys. I'll see you in my next video.